Our special guest speaker for the day. He has served the U.S. Navy for over 30 years, where he was retired as a Medical Service Corps officer. His long and interesting Navy career allowed him to travel throughout the United States and to over 35 countries. After retiring from the U.S. Navy, he joined the County of San Diego in August 2005 and spent the first 6 years serving as Health Service Project Coordinator with Strategic Planning and Operations Support, HHSA. He is currently an HHS Administrator with Eligibility Operations, managing the Integrated Fraud Detection IFD and the Overpayment Specialist OSU. He is currently the President of the NAIC Association of San Diego, an organization with a strong connection to their hometown in the Philippines. Their association is sponsoring over 100 college and high school students who are among the poorest and brightest children from their hometown. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Louis Abreu.
Wow, I'm very impressed with this celebration. I want to thank the committee for inviting me to your second annual celebration of the Philippine Independence Day at North Central FRC. Your FRC has been very impressive and active in celebrating the different holidays as well as the cultures which reflect the values and traditions of your staff. I commend you and the management, Peggy and Dominic, for your commitment to celebrate diversity and to improve staff's morale. I was initially asked to share and discuss my thoughts regarding Harana, an old Filipino courtship tradition of serenading women in the Philippines during the old days. I'm sorry to inform you that I don't have any hands-on experience or participated in any Haranas at all. My knowledge of Harana is what I watched in old movies or comedy shows on television, TFC. In fact, I can even sing. But with the magic of the internet, I did some research and learned about Harana. I saw your handout also for this event, and your definition and background of the information on Harana was written very well. So good job, whoever did it. So instead of me going to the same information, I decided to focus more on some interesting information about Harana, like some of the misconceptions about this Filipino custom. One of the most misconceptions during the Harana is the water or some mysterious liquid is frequently thrown at unwelcome visitors. I'm sure some of you have heard about that, right? We commonly see those stereotypical versions of Harana depicted in bad movies or comedy acts where lighthearted comment about toilet water being thrown at Haranistas during the serenade. This image has probably single-handedly devalued and prevented the surfacing of the true elegance and cultural importance of the Harana ritual. According to historians, a long-time Harana practitioners that they have interviewed attested that in their many years of serenading, never once this happened. In fact, it was unthinkable. The whole Harana experience is respectful and formal, with everyone on their best behavior, as you have observed here earlier. And everyone is, of course, observing the protocols. So, if you're planning to do a Harana, never fear. The toilet water thrown at the Haranistas, not true. The second misconception that I found interesting is the suitor is also the singer during the serenade. You know, the person who's trying to know the lady of the house. As we know, Filipinos love to sing. However, the Philippines may have the nation of singers, but not all singers are created equal. And since the success of the Harana depends largely on the skill of the singer, men sought for services of master Haranistas. So if you really like the girl and you wanted to get invited in the house, be smart and hire the best Haranistas in town. Another misconception about Harana is the woman decides whether or not to invite the Haranistas in. While the object of the Harana is certainly the maiden or the lady, it is in fact that any courtship endeavor must be under the watchful eyes of her parents, especially in rural settings where private meetings between men and women were frowned upon. With sentiment expressed under the guise of songs free of malice and with everyone's on their best behavior, Harana became an outlet and a parent-sanctioned way for youngsters to meet the opposite sex. As such, it is the parents who have the ultimate say whether or not to let the Haranistas in. So again, if you're going to a Harana, be nice and respectful to the parents of the house. And the final misconception that I thought was interesting was men used Harana to declare their love for a woman. Contrary to that popular notion, the most common instant that sets a Harana in motion is the arrival of a woman from a big city like Manila, visiting a province for vacation. Also during old days, the arrival of maidens from nearby villages who are in town for the harvest. The glimpse of the new arrival signals the men to organize themselves and bring out their guitars. Harana then was not necessarily only about the declaration of romantic love, but often a social call for young men to introduce themselves to these ladies. The truth is, Harana is a social event, a chance to meet other people, particularly of the opposite sex, using the passions of the Filipinos to sing as the icebreaker. Unfortunately, we don't see or practice this romantic Filipino tradition anymore. However, nowadays, I believe Filipinos have adapted to a new but similarly intentioned tradition. Can you guess what it is? Correct, karaoke's. As we all know, in any special events or when friends get together, there are always karaoke's. So during the old days, our grandparents and great-grandparents have Haranas. Now we have karaoke's. And lastly, I wanted to briefly reflect back and share my thoughts on the special event that occurred in Kawit, Cavite 117 years ago, the Declaration of the Philippine Independence. I was actually born and raised in the province of Cavite, in a coastal town called Naik. Our town is about 20 miles south of Kawit, Cavite. As a very young man, many years ago, I remember passing through the town of Kawit on our way to Manila. At the time, the bus would normally take the route that leads right in front of the famous balcony where General Emilio Aguinaldo declared the Philippine independence. Through the years, I have seen that balcony many times, and I often wondered how exciting and memorable that moment must have been to the Filipinos who were present to witness the historic event. On June 12, 1898, between 4 to 5 in the afternoon, General Emilio Aguinaldo proclaimed the independence of the Philippines from the colonial rule of Spain at that same balcony in his house in Kawit, Cavite. On this special day, for the very first time, the national flag of the Philippines was unfurled and raised as the San Francisco de Malabon marching band played the Marcha Filipina Magdalo. The Marcha Filipina Magdalo is the Philippine national anthem and is now known Lupang Hinirang. And then Ambrosio Rianzales Bautista finally read the Act of Declaration of Independence, which stated the Philippine independence from Spanish rule. For a nation and a people who have been under colonial rule for over 350 years, that event on June 12, 1898 must have been a very proud and unforgettable day for all Filipinos of that generation. And now we continue to honor and celebrate that special moment in the Philippine history. Happy Philippine Independence Day to everyone, and thank you for listening.